lot of welding. All right, quick recap. Frame is tacked together, but I've been stuck waiting on parts. This box showing up saves the build. PCBWay reached out to support this project. Timing could not have been better. So excited for these. So let's get started on this next phase of the build. These sheet metal tray parts I had made up came out well, but I forgot to add a relief here. So here is how I'm going to fix it. I've quickly designed a 3D printed template. Next, I'm working on assembling these sheet metal knuckles. I've got to weld on the brake caliper brackets, and I'll also weld a bolt in place to serve as the axle. Now it's time to mount the steering knuckles. These spaces will fit between the folded metal sheets and the inner bearing races. Everything's aligned and ready for the next step. I'm moving on to welding this support bracket for the steering column to these tube clamps. I just lasered through my glove. I'm definitely not going to forget to wear my safety equipment again. With the steering support done, the next step is to place the mid tray, the foot plate tray, and the side plate tray in place. I can't resist. I'm going to pop the seat on and sit in it. Oh yeah. Let's go. Oh. All right, next up, I'm going to weld on this steering column arm. Once this is secured, I'll get the tie rods installed. Steering is buttery. Since these sheet metal parts came out so well, I figured I'd use PCBWay again. This time for the front hubs. Just uploaded the step file, got a quote straight away, submitted it for review, and placed the order. I'll circle back when they arrive. All right, it's a new day. First task, machining an adapter plate to mount the steering wheel onto the steering column. So I had a little fun with that drill bit. Now I'm moving on to the brake and accelerator pedals. Engine's going on. For this next step, I need to swap this foot brake master cylinder to the hand brake master cylinder. Bit of a setback. This thread is a different type to the one inside the hand brake here. I'll have to figure that out and come back to it later. Yes, front hubs turned up today. Let's go. I'm stoked with how these have turned out. Amazon has saved the day. I've got the correct fitting for this brake master cylinder now. All right, back on track with the rear hydro. Now I'm going to put the front brake calipers on. Now I'm waiting on a few brake line parts to wrap up the system. But tomorrow, after a good rest, I'll put the wheels on the cart. At that point, I think I'll be ready to finish the final welding on the frame. So I'm getting close. I got the wheels on, but immediately I noticed something is off. The front is sitting way higher than the rear. Rear clearance is about 40 mil, front closer to 70. So it's got this pretty aggressive nose up rake, which was not the plan. Now I've got two options. I chop the rear bearing mount and raise the back of the cart, that being the easier fix, or I go back to the front, cut off these parts which I've already fully welded and lower the front end. The problem is, if I raise the rear, then I lose that really nice low stance. So I need to decide, do I take the easier option or do I fix it properly? Of course, I'm fixing it properly. Let's do it. Front end has been cut off and reworked. Now it's time to tack everything back together and see if I fixed the stance. Whoa. Now I'm at 30 millimeters height on the front and 40 millimeters on the rear, so pretty much nailed it. Moving on. Bro, that is not gonna work. All right, coming back to my mount for the front brake master cylinder, I need to make one that actually works. That's sorted. Time to strip it all back and fully weld the frame. I'm starting to get more comfortable filling gaps. I'll get everything back on now and do a final fitment check. Now I'm going to get these front brake components installed. Cue Tokyo Drift. Looking mean and low, exactly what I wanted. It's all together, and yeah, I'm stoked with how this has all come out. The frame, geometry, and stance are exactly where I want them. Next step, strip it back down, paint it, and then finally see how this thing actually drives. If you want to build one yourself, I put all the files on my website. The link's below.